Great. Thank you for taking the time today.
No worries.
Could you do a little bit of this introduction of yourself and what type of works you did to your home?
Yeah, so Josh, we moved into this house about 4 years ago, my
Hmm.
partner and I, or 4 years before we got in touch with you. And we did a full renovation of ground floor up, basically. So we did ground floor living room, bedroom, bathroom, and guest bedroom and bathroom. And
Hmm.
also stairs and hallway, which maybe sounds minor, but given what the previous occupants had done to the house, where they'd sort of opened everything up completely, um, it was actually quite big, given that none of the stairs had banisters. There was sort of no cupboards anywhere. So actually, this was those kind of I don't know what you call them. The areas outside the key rooms were also quite a big chunk of work. So full renovation of the house, basically.
Hmm. Well, you mentioned a little bit, but what was your house like before your renovation and what did you want to change?
Yeah, so we love the house, but I think one of the things, having lived in the house for 4 years, is we found that we were really like living around the house rather than in it. The people before us had opened everything up completely. Everything was kind of stripped back to the walls. Um, they'd taken out any cupboards. The only lighting were these kind of dim wall lights, which meant that it sort of, it wasn't cozy. It also wasn't brightly enough lit to do anything if you actually needed to kind of get a task done. The stairs were a death trap. Um,
Oh, yes.
the floors were a bit knackered. We had the old floorboards, which were kind of nails sticking out and a bit creaky. And then actually, because everything was so opened up, none of the rooms were really kind of zoned in a way. So, the front door opened straight into the living room. So we were sort of huddled into 30% of the room at the back away from the door, trying to stay warm. Um, and there was just a lot of dead space because everything was, it was just these kind of big rooms where chunks of the space had sort of no purpose. Um, the other thing is the guest room was basically completely empty. It was sort of
Mm.
waiting for
Mm.
someone to occasionally come and stay. Whereas, and I know we're not supposed to, we're talking about what it was like, but now, for instance, we've created an extra working space up there.
Mm.
If two people are in the house working from home, we no longer have to shout over one another on the phone.
Mm.
So we've really started using more of the house.
Mm. And how was the experience of working with us?
It was good. I mean, it was, collaborative, efficient, communicative. And, I know that Uh, so personally, I like to communicate over WhatsApp rather than email. And, the team just adapted and started shooting me
Mm.
short messages in a way that just meant the thing was kind of easy. You adapted to my way of working,
Yeah, I think
let's
that,
say,
yeah, it's a
rather than
new way of
yours.
working, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. And what was the biggest project achievement you'd say?
Biggest project achievement. And to be honest, I think the biggest project achievement is so we put in some hallway cabinetry and built some balustrades around the stairs and added some like this curtain that you can see behind me. And so create a little bit of a divide between the entranceway and the living room, which now means that we use the living room a lot more. And then
Mhm.
actually the desk that I'm currently sitting at,
Mhm.
that was previously this sort of dead space by a window, sort of next to the window, next to the door, is now, sort of the
Your
nook where I
office. Yeah.
spend, yeah, like half half my day or half my week. And so I think the biggest project achievement is actually we just are using much more of the
Mm.
house. And actually, because we've put in some unobtrusive storage in places, or like little things like we added the bathroom vanity rather than just a
Mm.
floating sink, um, things have homes and they have homes
Mm.
near where they're needed,
Mhm.
um, which means there isn't just sort of stuff around the house.
Mhm.
And so I'd say those are the achievements. It's easier to use.
Mhm. And what changes of your home improved your day-to-day life?
So certainly this desk, I'm no longer sitting at my kitchen table getting a
Mhm.
salt back. Instead, I'm looking out of the window, natural light
Mhm.
for Zoom calls. We have a much more comfortable sofa
Mhm.
that we use that doesn't have a
Mhm.
draft
Was
straight
worth
from the
it.
door.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, and actually, also the lighting made a big difference. I think we've got much
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
versatile lighting, right? So we've got kind of
Yeah. You
mixture
forget
of,
what it was like before.
yeah, it was. Well, and so even the room I'm sitting in now, there were spotlights above me, but the other half of the room just had a couple of lights sticking out from the wall. And so you'd have this weird situation when you're sitting in the room and one half was very bright and the other half was very dim. And now we have, a mixture of different levels for different uses of the space, which actually makes quite a big difference.
Yeah, great. So last question, how does your new home make you feel now?
But it's much cozier, it's much
Mhm.
warmer. And actually, despite the fact that we've put sort of more things in it objectively,
Mhm.
we've got cabinets where there weren't before, there are sort of more rugs, more bits of furniture. It also feels a lot more open.
Mhm.
I had a friend come round yesterday, actually, and he was like, "Oh, has this room got bigger?" And the room has not got bigger. The room has got more things in it, and but I think we did a few things, painting the ceiling in a way that kind of flows up from the wall, and just creating a bit of kind of flow of the space
Yeah.
that means you have kind of areas, which means in turn that there's a bit more of
Yeah,
a sense
it's
of
it's
space.
zoned now rather than
Exactly,
just one open space. Yeah.
exactly. Um, so yeah, it's calmer, it's cozier, and I'm definitely prouder when we have people around.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you so much.
No, pleasure. Thank you.